True Crime King back.
Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you are all well on this. What day is it? Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. I hope you've had an amazing weekend. You look amazing, by the way.
Shut up. How we doing, guys? True Crime King back. I'm sorry, but I forgot how much of a clown this guy really is. Someone sent me this video, and I have to react to it. Harsh thinks he knows more about the U.S. laws than the actual people that live in the U.S. Let's just play the video.
So you must have. You must have. Tell me all about it downstairs. 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 Down in the comments. Tell me what you've been doing this weekend down in the comments.
Why do you want to know what everybody's been doing, Harsh?
Let's hope the rest of this video goes better than the intro, shall we? Anyway, some of you have reached out, a lot of you have reached out regarding a channel. We know what you did. We know what you did, and specifically a video that was done around 5 days ago. So I thought, you know what, I wasn't going to do a video on time. I was going to give you a day off. But since so many people reached out and said, check this out, you need to check this out, Ash. You need to check it, because I think you're going to
Who was he going to give a day off? You know what I mean?
Find this very, very interesting. So I thought I'd give you my thoughts and feelings on it, because that's what it's
You talking to us?
all about on this channel, sharing our thoughts and feelings and ideas, speculation, spitballing. So if you like that sort of thing.
And I'm sorry, but he wears that icon hat because I think he really believes that he's an icon or something, you know. That's how narcissistic this Harsh guy really is. When you actually talk to him, you know, when he's not doing a live or a video on YouTube, he's actually a very, very just not a good person in real life.
And you're not subscribed, why not? Because you're going to get that in doses every day here. So anyway, what do I think to it? Right, so first of all, I'd like to say that there is some elements of that video, not many.
Alright, here's the video he's talking about. We know what you did, the Idaho4 tip line.
Hey?
And real quick, I want to... So the title of Harsh's video is The Moscow PD Fishing Expedition. Okay? So, again, he's insinuating that the cops have done something wrong with no evidence. You know, here we go.
But there are elements of it that are interesting. They're interesting. And the bit in particular I found interesting was the fact that the Moscow PD tip line, it was kind of insinuated in this video that that tip line was potentially set up in order for Moscow PD to establish exactly what was known and by whom.
That's exactly why it was set up, Harsh. That's exactly why every tip line is set up. So all the police can find out exactly what was done and by whom, right? That's the whole goal, right? To find the truth, right?
And I think
he's a dumbass.
That's actually a really valid point. I do feel that there's no better way of finding out in an area who knows what than setting up a tip line that gives everyone carte blanche to ring them up, text them, email them, whatever, and say, look, this is what we know, this is what we saw. So if they already know what happened, or they've got an inkling, or they've perhaps been tipped off, that they can, again, establish exactly who knows what, why and when and whatever.
See, right here, what is he trying to insinuate by that? I mean, there's absolutely no evidence at all that the Moscow PD have done anything but do their job and do it well, right? And get the right perpetrator behind bars. Hello? They're not looking for anybody else, you know? They're not.
And then they can do what they need to do.
You don't see the police out there investigating tunnels, right? You don't see the FBI in the Moscow police looking for any other suspect because they have Bryan Kohberger in jail, right? They're going for the death penalty, guys. You know what that means? That means they have enough evidence that the prosecutors believe that they can convict Bryan Kohberger of the death penalty. Okay, and he's gonna make some more points here soon that I wanna. That's why I wanted to make this video.
To dot their I's and cross their T's. Because, look, until I see more evidence, and I'm not saying it doesn't exist, I'm just saying I ain't seen it yet. But until I absolutely 100% undeniably see enough proof and evidence that convicts BK, that's Bryan Kohberger, of this crime beyond a reasonable doubt, so I can look and think, you know what? Fuck, he did it.
Okay, so, I mean, we all know there's a gag order. We all know we're not going to know what the police know until the actual trial. So, with us knowing that, right, and Harsh knowing that, why would you come out on YouTube and keep making videos about, you know, how the Moscow PD might be doing something wrong, or have going on a fishing expedition, as the title implies, right? I mean, what? Right? We already know we're not going to find any evidence. It's illegal, right? They can't talk about it.
He did it. He still deserves the benefit of the doubt, however. I will say that. So,
and this is where. So he keeps saying, I think Harsh is getting his, his words kind of, or the laws of the U.S. kind of mixed up here. He keeps thinking that due process means that we should, not even think Kohberger is guilty until he's actually found guilty, right? It's totally ridiculous. He doesn't even know what he's talking about or what the actual law means.
all of you people out there who have him burned at the stake already, it don't make you right, it don't make us wrong, because there are ways in which we should behave and ways in which we should act to be proper people.
I'm not... When have I ever said you guys are totally wrong? I'm saying there's no evidence to support anything you're saying, right? There's actual evidence to support what I'm saying. There's evidence to support that Bryan Kohberger committed this crime. Okay? There just is. Right? His DNA did not get on the murder weapon sheath and then make it under the dead body of Madison Mogen. Just without Bryan Kohberger being in the house, right? Having the sheath in his possession to get his DNA on it, okay? And then it somehow ending up under Madison's dead body. That's just it. Just with that one piece of evidence alone would be enough to arrest Kohberger, okay? Just that, right there. I don't even need to keep going into everything else that the police have. And I'm not going to, because we all know what's out there. And if you guys don't know what's out there, or you want to call every piece of evidence they have against Kohberger fishy, then you're just biased against this, and you're not going to change your mind ever. Even if Kohberger's found guilty, you're going to say that the Moscow police did something fishy. So I'm not even going to try and convince you guys.
Not wankers. So you have to sort of establish whether you're a wanker or whether...
And then, see? So, he calls me and everybody that follows the actual evidence, right? Wankers. And then he puts up his little laughed my ass off with his little squiggly lines, right? Thinking he's all funny with his crooked yellow teeth and his icon hat on, and his 1 inch freaking strings around his neck. Well, he doesn't have a neck, around his chin, I guess.
You're a proper person. You're a proper decent person who believes in the constitutional rights of your people over in the US. And
See, this is what I'm talking about. What constitutional rights are you talking about? Harsh. Explain what you mean, right? I don't want to try and. I can try and guess what he means, but I'm not. I don't want to put words in his mouth, because then he can make a video and say, "No, I was talking about something else."
Regardless of, personal thoughts and feelings, you still are of a mindset, you know what, I might feel a certain way, but I appreciate that this person has to go through due process.
Okay, there, he said it. Due process. Harsh. This is what he thinks, that due process means that if someone's arrested, you can't even think that someone's guilty, until they're actually found guilty. He doesn't even look up due process. And everybody, if you don't know what it is, look it up for yourself. It's just here. I'll put the definition up for you guys. You'll see it on your screen.
That's all it's about. But anyway, until I see all this aforementioned evidence and proof and beyond a reasonable doubt stuff, I do have to consider that in Moscow, Idaho, there was potentially reasonings that would force Moscow PD to act swiftly, and perhaps without due diligence. We already know that.
Okay, real quick. Act swiftly. So, let's all remember what actually happened here, right? So the murders happened on the 13th, right? Kohberger wasn't arrested until after Christmas, a couple days after Christmas, right? That's not that fast, right? If they really wanted to frame somebody, let's think about this and be real. If they wanted to really frame somebody, don't you think they probably would have chose somebody that actually had a criminal history, right, before this, that maybe was already on the police radar and the public's radar around Moscow? Because Bryan Kohberger was not, right? Let's remember, the police only started following Kohberger and got on Kohberger's trail after they sent the DNA that was on the knife sheath under Madison's dead body through with a genealogy website, then got a match to Kohberger's father, right? Then got his trash after Kohberger was witnessed taking his trash out at night, in the middle of the night, with gloves on, right? After he was witnessed cleaning his car, right? He had plenty of time to get rid of any evidence. Plenty of time, right? He had weeks to get rid of evidence. And those of you that say you can't get rid of evidence, are you kidding me? Are you really, do you really believe that you take some bleach and then you wipe it off? Okay, bleach destroys everything. Okay, if you go watch some videos on it. I'm not going to try and persuade you guys. You just type it in YouTube and watch some videos on it, or type it in wherever you want to. I had one comment that said, "You can't get rid of blood ever. Even if you could do whatever you want to it, and the luminol test will still show blood." No, that's totally wrong and false. See, that's why I can't approve every comment, because people just say this stuff that's totally false, and I'm not allowing that shit on my channel. you know, these people like Harsh, they just, he begs for you guys to comment, because obviously the more comments, it factors into the YouTube algorithm, and the more likes, that's why he says you guys look so good and so happy, and when he can't see you and all this bullshit. But I know how the real Harsh is, not not on live cameras.
They perhaps weren't gauged in a manner which would have suited them in this crime. In order to deal with it, I know very quickly they got the FBI involved, but what did they tell the FBI? Did they already tell the FBI, this is what we know, this is what we've been told, and did they kind of set the stage and the FBI ran with that?
Okay, first of all, the FBI, they're not just going to take anybody's word. They're going to do their own, facts, and make sure they all line up with what's being presented. I mean, we all know when the FBI gets involved, I don't think they've ever lost a case, to be honest with you. I know for a fact it's around 99%. If they've lost a case, it's one or two. You know what I mean? That's why that's another reason why I'm convinced Kohberger's the guy, because the FBI is so convinced that Kohberger's the guy, and they never get it wrong, right? That's just facts, right? And so, and I just want to make sure. So Harsh said, if anybody even is believing that Kohberger is guilty, with the evidence that we know already, right? We're not allowed to think that he's guilty, or we're wankers and we don't believe in due process. Okay, that's basically what he's been saying so far. We're wankers, and we don't believe in the Constitution in the U.S. That's what we are if we believe that Kohberger committed this crime, as he's sitting in jail, and has been sitting in jail, and has been charged with 4 capital murder charges and the death penalty. Okay, we're not allowed to believe he's guilty yet. What a clown. What a dumbass.
At the end of the day, I spoke the other day about Bryan Kohberger had a conversation with Moscow PD, and it would appear that this conversation would then lead to him, I feel, potentially screwing himself by discussing what his alibi or lack.
Hit that like and subscribe button down. Thanks for reminding me, Harsh. Hit that like and subscribe button for me, guys. True Crime King. Let's go.
Thereof was. And I'm going to do another video tomorrow that touches on alibis, and the fact that actually, when it comes to alibis, who truly had an alibi? Did anyone? But anyway, let's get back on to...
Well, we know Kohberger didn't have an alibi, right? Because he told us he didn't have an alibi. He told the police that. He told them he was driving his car right around the scene of the crime, doing nothing. That's his alibi. That's his official alibi. And you know what? That would be a great alibi for the actual person that committed the murder, right? He doesn't have an alibi. And neither would the person that committed the murder, right? I mean, come on. Put the dots together, guys.
This video, because that is where my positive statements regarding this video that you guys reached out to me about starts and stops.
If a lot of you guys put as much energy into following the actual evidence as you do as to trying to look for evidence that's not there, I think that most of the public would have a totally different view on this case, and we wouldn't even be talking about all these tunnels and parachuting and cults and the police fishing expeditions. I mean, what? I mean, how many different theories have to be crossed off until you guys actually look at what's in front of you and what's actually in jail and who's been charged? I mean, it just makes no sense to me.
I believe that's a valid point. Moscow PD obtaining information on who knew what, so they could control what they needed to control.
So if that's the case, that means every police station in the United States or around the world could possibly, you could say that about everybody. I mean, this is just the dumbest argument I've ever heard. Every police station, if the suspect is on the loose, they set up a tip line. Right? I mean, how can you sit here, Harsh, and say that the Moscow PD was doing a fishing expedition again with zero, let me say this again, zero evidence. Nothing, right? Nothing. That's slander. It's stupid.
And, the rest is history. But this video descends into oblivion after that, in my opinion. Only in my opinion. And my opinion is just my opinion. It's not...
It's exactly right.
Saying that anything is factual. I'm not saying that the video is incorrect.
And see, these guys all do the same thing. They all say, whatever I say is definitely not factual, right? Yeah, I know that. Apparently, all your audience and most of your audience doesn't even take that into consideration. Where you guys admit, and the other people that I've done videos on, they admit that everything they say is not factual, right? Then what are you doing videos for, right? If you know you're not telling the truth, right? I mean, everything I do is based on facts and evidence, right? I wouldn't make a video if I didn't have any facts or evidence. It's just wrong, and I don't know how you can even call yourself, I don't understand it. Anyway, that's enough of this guy, this icon, right? Let me know what you guys think. Until next time, True Crime King out.